Hey TPT sellers, I have spent $1,700 on Facebook ad spend for back to school season, sending traffic to my TPT products. Today is Thursday, August 15th. I currently have 3 campaigns that are running at about $10 per campaign. And that's a big shift because yesterday and a few days ago, I had ramped up some of the campaigns to $50 per day. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But you can see on my Facebook ads dashboard that here it is, 1710.55. That's how much I've spent. This episode is for TPT hamsters who are trying to build machines. And by machines, I mean business systems. Literally here, I'm trying to build a money-making machine where my ad spend is lower than my earnings from those TPT products. And if I can crack the code, then I simply increase the ad spend and make more money-making machines like that, driving ads to different products. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video series is partially to model the tinkering process. I think a lot of TPT sellers think, oh, I'll just run Facebook ads, and that's the magical solution. But I think also this is the challenge, some of the ideas that I've heard out there from other TPT sellers, where because you hear a larger, more successful seller say this, then you assume that, okay, it must be correct. And of course, the caveat that everyone makes is ultimately you have to test things on your Facebook account because what works for me may not work for you and what works for you may not work for me. There's a lot of variables. It's a lot of testing. The best piece of advice I heard from TPT Forward at one of the sessions, the presenter said, basically, first try this. If that doesn't work, try that. If that doesn't work, try this. If that doesn't work, and you keep on going. So there's a lot of experimentation and trial and error. So the episode is for TPT hawks. And the reason why I'm making this video right now is because there were some fantastic comments on my last video. One of the key important ideas is if you're running ads, whether they're TPT ads or Facebook ads, to make sure you're promoting products that you know convert well. Otherwise, it is wishful marketing. I love chatting with Quattro Hibaro because he constantly points out things that I need to consider more carefully. So I love this. He says, dude, Mike, you should only run ads on products that you know will convert. And that's because earlier in my last video, I showed this UTM data where the conversion rate for my ad going directly to my back to school goal setting product had a conversion rate of 0.43%. Now, I would not choose to run an ad on a product that had a low conversion rate like that. I've heard this idea before. Okay, I'm going to try to buy traffic for this resource that has low page views because maybe I'll get more sales. But if the conversion rate is low, throwing more eyeballs at that resource won't produce more sales because the conversion rate is low. Now, when I started this ad campaign series, I didn't actually know the conversion rate for this resource. It used to be a free resource and it had 50,000 downloads. And I converted it into a paid resource when I started running ads to it because I thought it would convert well. If I go to my dashboard and deselect everything and just type this packet resource, here are the earnings. But more interestingly, here's the conversion rate. Today is the 15th and I'm not able to see today's conversion rates yet. On the 14th, that was the first day that I wasn't running ads, Facebook ads. So the 13th was the day when we had the conversion rate of 0.48%. And we see this. Oh, let's turn off previous year so it's not confusing us. There we go. So the conversion rate with Facebook traffic was 0.48. Yesterday, I did not have Facebook traffic. I just had organic traffic and the conversion rate was 21%. Now, I don't think that's an accurate conversion rate either because we all know that these go up and down depending on, so we really have to see this over a longer period of time. But I know from this that it's not 0.5%. And I did update the resource yesterday. So since then, the conversion rate has been 11%. So I'm going to guess that the conversion rate for this resource is probably around 11%. I think in TPT land, we need to test this assumption that the conversion rate of your Facebook ad traffic is the same as the conversion rate of your product in general. That was one of the assumptions that was presented to me at TPT Forward. And ultimately the answer is it depends on circumstances. If I run Facebook ads to email and then I warm up that audience with an email funnel, and then from the email funnel, they go to the product and they buy, warming that audience up through an email funnel will definitely have a better conversion rate than what I'm doing right now, which is running traffic directly to the product from Facebook. So it's important to know that the conversion of our traffic will differ based on the source. And that source might be Facebook, it might be ConvertKit or your email program, It might be from your blog. It might be from your resource. Maybe you have a link in your PDFs. But it's actually very hard for us as TPT sellers to figure out the conversion rate for a resource unless it's aggregated all together. But ad traffic is not as warm as organic search traffic on TPT. At least that's what I suspect. Now, one of the things that I knew, but it didn't happen this way, but it happened this way. One of the things that I knew is that when you increase your ad spend budget for your campaign, then Facebook starts to bid more aggressively for ad spots. And I knew that it could increase the cost per result. Not always. Here's a learning experience I had. Here's my add to cart campaign. And since the beginning of this campaign to now, I spent $122. But what I'm really interested in to see is the number of add to carts. It's been able to find 8 add to carts, but this also includes 102 content views. So it's basically sent 102 people to Facebook, and the algorithm is trying to figure out, okay, which of these people are going to click on add to cart? And then when Meta received the signal, oh, this person added it to cart, okay, let's find more people like that. The average cost to add to cart for the campaign is $15. If I look at how much it is today, the algorithm was able to find someone at only $3.68. And I think this is because yesterday I dropped it down from $50 per day back to $10 per day. And if I look at yesterday's add to cart price, it spent $39 to try to find one person to add to cart. And that's because it could spend up to $50 that day. So that's something to be aware of when you ramp up your campaign. I ramped it up from $10 to $50 because I was curious to see if it would go back down. I did that with a different campaign successfully without changing the cost per click. The internet will tell you to increase your ad budget by 10%. If it's too drastic of a change, it goes back into learning mode. Now, this campaign is the one that I was running traffic to my 375 TPT product. And what the algorithm was able to do was get it down to around 14 cents per link click. And that was when I was running it at $10 and at $20. So then I bumped it up to $40. And the first day after I bumped it up, the cost per link click was around 40 cents, 35 cents. But then over time, it was able to figure it out and take it back down so that the average cost was around 14 cents. And right now it has a budget of $40, but I've turned it off completely. It's on at the AdSense level, but it's off at the campaign level. I turned off the switch because right now I wonder if 375 is just too small of a profit margin to be able to run ads effectively, especially with a 0.5 conversion rate. Buzz Media left a comment with a question about updating the cover. And Quattro Hibaro also pointed out maybe I need to update the covers and thumbnails and product description. So one of the things that you can do with Facebook is you can do something called A/B testing. So a fragmented audience is if I run a campaign towards a certain group of people, like I want to show it towards middle school teachers in America. And then I create the exact same campaign showing it to middle school teachers in America. Those two campaigns are competing against each other because Facebook ads and most ad platforms, it's a bidding system. So you're bidding other people who are running ads, and whoever bids the highest, because the algorithm allows it to bid a certain amount, their ad shows up. And so then Facebook will suggest, hey, you could probably save money because these two campaigns are the same. They're bidding towards the same audience, and we'll just bring over your ads. One of the things you can do is you can run an A/B test. So an A/B test, basically, if I'm comparing campaign A and campaign B, the A/B test will only allow one of those campaigns to enter the bidding system. So that way I can prevent campaign A from competing against campaign B. And I remember one of the presenters at TPT Forward said, don't do A/B tests because it just drives up your costs. But one of the benefits to doing an A/B test is that you don't have to increase the ad spend for your campaign. Because we saw an episode that when you budget, sometimes it can increase your cost per click. My 6 seats bundle ad went from $10 to $35 per result, but that hadn't optimized yet. That was still in learning mode. And sometimes it doesn't increase your cost per click, like my 15, 14 cents per click ad to my TPT product. When I increased the ad spend from $20 to $40, it didn't increase the cost per result. So there's a lot of tinkering, but now I'm a little bit wary about increasing my ad spend budget if I find something that works, and I'm nowhere close to that right now. When I find something that works, I might do A/B testing in order to avoid increasing the ad spend, because then I can duplicate the campaign 5 times, because you can do up to 5 A, B, C, D, E testing, I guess. And then all of those, only one of those campaigns will enter the bidding system for that audience. So A/B testing is a way that you could scale up a campaign without scaling up your ad spend. But if you hear a TPT seller say, yeah, don't do A/B testing on your Facebook ads, then the question is why? What experience have they had that leads them to say that? Buzz Media has a great point. Have you considered updating the cover of the product you're running ads for? Which is a polite way of saying, update the cover that you're running ads for. Here's the current cover of my ads. It says back to school goal setting that works because it's different, with a picture of a unicorn. This wasn't my first choice of cover. My first choice of cover, this, where it had a picture of the handout, but I think it still said that works because it's different. And I had learned at the start of the year, I spent $1,000 on Facebook ads trying to figure out what I could about Facebook ads. And one of the things I realized is that you can actually do A/B testing of the cover on your ad to see which ones get more clicks. And then based on that, Facebook then becomes a way to say, okay, this cover resonates more with other people. So initially, I had this Facebook ad going to my $3.75 product, and I didn't set it up as an A/B test. But what I did was I ran 9 different cover image. Version 1 was this back to school goal setting that works because it's different, with a picture of the handout. Version 2 was back to school goal setting that works because it's different. Everything's the same, except I swapped out the image with the picture of the unicorn because I wondered maybe that would stop the scroll. Why is it different? Well, there's a unicorn. What's a unicorn doing here? Curiosity, click on the ad. So I might think that could work, but I actually have to look for data that proves that. And TPT doesn't allow us to do A/B testing. Version 3, you're going to be average with a picture of that handout that we saw earlier. Version 4, back to school goal setting, you're going to be average. Back to school goal setting that works because it's different, but at the top it says middle school, ELA, and SEL. Whereas the first 4, versions 1 to 4, it says, hey, middle school English teachers. And then version 5, 6, 7, 8, versions 5, 6, 7, 8 are exactly the same as versions 1, 2, 3, and 4, except one of them says, hey, middle school English teachers, because I'm calling to my audience, and the other one says middle school, ELA, and SEL. So Facebook, when it has a bunch of different options, it sort of decides, I'm going to show this, I'm going to show that, and then eventually it starts to like one because it seems to work. And it doesn't always choose the one that has the lowest cost per result. So for example, this one here, this is version 1 with the handout. Right now it has above average engagement rate and above average conversion rate ranking. But that wasn't always the case. For a while, it was version 2 that was in the lead. In fact, I wonder if I can change this. If I show it between the start to let's say August 7th, a week ago. And if I sort it by the results. So there was a time where that version 2 with the unicorn was working the best. And in fact, even here between July 18th to August 7th, it had an above average rating. So what I did was I took those images, the most successful ads. I noticed that version 1 with the handout seemed to be doing well. I ran it as an A/B test to see which one would do better. And now that Buzz Media asked that question, I realized, yeah, okay, I should check again to see if the picture of the unicorn is still working. If I go to the ads for 2 campaigns, and if I set this time period to today, the most popular result that the system is sending is that version 1. So what I really need to do, let's just view this. I need to switch it to this back to school goal setting that works because it's different. This one says, hey, middle school English teachers. And I'm pretty sure that the other one that's popular, let's just make sure it says, hey, middle school English teachers. So I'm going to update my cover to the one that seems to be working well on Facebook. Before I do anything, let's save the HTML for this file. Backup descriptions as solution before. Okay, I just saved the file. And now if I edit my listing, let's update my thumbnails now. I'm going to change this. So it says, hey, middle school English teachers, back to school goal setting that works because it's different. I'm going to put the back to school that works because it's different. You can see here all my Facebook ads that I tried. I'm going to choose this that works because it's different with the handout. Now, traditionally, I would have gone with this motivational welcome back letter, critical thinking discussion questions, but I ran that as a Facebook ad. See, I ran, where is it? It's goal version 9. So if I go to my Facebook stuff, let's just see how version 9 did. Okay, so this is sorted by results, and version 9 is down here. It only got 5 link clicks, and it ended up costing 24 cents. Now, it's not a fair comparison. When you run a bunch of ad variations within your ad set, Facebook doesn't show all of the ads equally. It only does that if you set it up as an A/B experiment. Maybe next week for funsies, I'll set up an ad going to my TPT in version 9A, which is the traditional cover that I would have done. And then if I do it as an A/B test, as a proper A/B test at maybe $5 per day, I'll see which one is more successful. That's a good idea. But this week, I'm just going to let it simmer, and I'm just experimenting with the 6Cs bundle. All right, go back to 9A. So here's 9B. Here's the picture of the unicorn letter. All right, the same. Let's hit submit. TPT is thinking. There we go. Okay, so I've set a different cover with the traditional handout. I need to save the HTML change. And I'm going to put here as my note cover version 1A. I have a log where I keep track of all my changes. So I'm going to paste in this link here. I'm going to make a quick note. I changed the cover from version 2 with the unicorn to version 1 with the handout. I saved the HTML file, so say yes. I saved the product.csv file earlier today, so I'm going to say not applicable. Who did this task? I did it. I'm going to hit submit. I have a link here to analyze the log, which is I'm going to paste the URL. I'm going to go right click, paste special values only. And what it's just done is it's pulled up all of my notes about this product. So every time I leave a note in that Google form, this Google Sheet lets me pull up to see what I did. So here's my note from today. Today is 1:18 Eastern Time, Thursday, August 15th. I changed the cover from version 2 unicorn to version 1. Yesterday, I have a note that my Facebook ads are off. Before that, on Tuesday, the ad spend was at $40 per day, but it's not leading to sales. So then I would have dropped it down. So I reallocated the funds. This log lets me remember what I've changed. So if I have a spike in sales, I can go back to my log and see, oh, what did I change that day? So on TPT, just type TPT seller as your search term, scroll down, and you'll find, here I am, TPT seller tips and tricks. And if you click on that, the event log is number 5. And if you have any questions about how to use this resource, and this one is free right now, you can ask in the queue. At the bottom of all my product descriptions, I have a link to my email address. Let's sum up the Facebook ads takeaway that I talked about. And if you agree or disagree, or you've had different lived experiences, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear about it. The first one is promote products that you know convert well, because otherwise you might be buying a lot of eyeballs to a product that doesn't convert. And so then you don't know, is it not working because the product conversion rate isn't good? Or is it not working because the traffic from Facebook ads, that's not working yet? The next takeaway is to always test your assumptions, whether you hear them from me or from other TPT sellers with podcasts or courses. Whatever they say, always keep in mind, test the assumption. And one of the assumptions here is the conversion rate that you have on your product the same as the conversion rate that you get from Facebook? I think I would argue, and I think the data here in today's video shows, that cold Facebook ad traffic directly to your TPT product will not be as good as traffic from maybe your email funnel, which is a lot warmer, or traffic from organic TPT search. So that's something to think about. We want more eyeballs and page views on our products, but not all eyeballs are the same, because that would be gross, actually, eyeballs. All right, never mind. The next takeaway is when you increase your ad spend budget on Facebook, it can increase your cost per result. Usually we do slower incremental increases. Sometimes Facebook will even say, hey, your ad campaign has optimized and it's super stable. You'll be able to increase your ad spend to X amount. Do you want us to do that for you? So sometimes the system will ask you itself. And the last point is to do A/B testing. You can test the covers. You can test your ad copy, the words that you use. You can test the audiences. You can even test the budget amount. So you could have your $10 campaign or your $5 per day campaign working well. And then you could be curious, well, what happens if I ramp it up to 50? I should have done that as an A/B test, time. But yeah, A/B testing, totally the way to. If you notice something that I've missed, leave a comment below. If you've ever heard advice from TPT land about Facebook ads and you're comfortable sharing a comment here or in the TPT SEO Facebook group that we have, just search up TPT SEO and Data Secrets by Editor. Like the video if you'd like to find out about what happens to this ad spend adventure. All right, bye-bye now.